Brilliant. Thanks so much, Chris. Delighted to be here this evening. Everybody, thanks so much for the invitation. And it's great to see so many familiar faces and names. I'm even more delighted that the topic of what I'll be talking about is IoT Tribe North 3. So it's our third accelerator in partnership with Barnsley and the Barnsley DMC. So for those of you who aren't familiar with IoT Tribe, we are essentially builders of key technology ecosystems that accelerate the growth and adoption of disruptive technologies globally. So we enable corporates and the public sector to disrupt the future through fast-tracking technology adoption and co-creation, data-driven insights, white label accelerators, support for entrepreneurship, and corporate venturing. So we offer our partners unparalleled access to technologies and partnerships that can fuel their businesses and give startups access to an equity-free accelerator that helps them scale. So at the heart of everything we do are our accelerators. We run four main accelerators. We have over 270 startups that have been through our equity-free accelerators. Companies that have come from 5 continents, and we have offices in 3 countries, London, Singapore, and Madrid. We were delighted to be chosen as the Global Innovation Alliance partner with Singapore last year, and that with Enterprise Singapore and EDB Singapore, we run 2 different programs. One is to attract global deep tech startups from around the world into Singapore. Another one is the reverse of that, so it's helping to or facilitating the expansion for Singaporean scale-ups into the UK. We run a space tech program based out of Madrid. That's in partnership with the European Space Agency. And then finally our flagship accelerator, which this year is going to be, or next year is going to be on connected places, and that's in Barnsley. We work with a vast number of companies and organizations around the world. Here are a few of our alumni companies. We're rather cheesy in the fact that we say that once you're part of the tribe, you're always part of the tribe. So we still have very active Slack channels with companies or founders that were in our programs 3 or 4 years ago that are reaching out for support, potentially with looking for an introduction to a VC or help with an event, that kind of thing. So very much like to keep in touch with all of our companies that have been in the tribe. Okay, so IoT Tribe North 3, we're absolutely delighted that this will be going ahead at the beginning of next year. We started working with Barnsley, NBC and the Digital Media Centre in 2017. Each program has had innovation at the forefront. We've attracted global technologies that have a focus on proof of value and proving their ability to solve real life problems, improving efficiency and also enhancing productivity. Generally, the programs have contributed to the ongoing awareness of the importance of accelerating the adoption of digital technologies in the region. So the previous 2 accelerators that we've run with Barnsley have focused on industrial tech, so smart manufacturing, and we've decided to change this year. So why have we done that? So in short, it's an incredibly exciting vertical. Emerging technologies like 5G, IoT, big data, having a huge impact on how buildings are being built, how they're designed, how they're operated. And in turn, this is having a big impact on the improvements that we can have on the working and living conditions of the individuals within them. Smart buildings, but also healthy buildings, are becoming more important for wellness of the inhabitants. There's also an increased drive for sustainability, renewable energy, greener buildings and places. There have also been advances in mobility and construction. And perhaps above all, there are lots of opportunities to pilot connected places technologies in the region, and that these technologies can make a real difference to the population. So what are we hoping to achieve? First and foremost, we want to attract the best global high quality startups from all around the world. We We want to deliver a program that is not only hugely beneficial to the startups themselves, but also to promote Barnsley in the region as a great place to set up a business and also to grow your business. And also to connect Barnsley and the South Yorkshire region to a wider global ecosystem. So a little bit about the program itself, as Chris mentioned, this program, as have all the programs we've run this year, due to the impact of social distancing and travel restrictions, they've meant that the programs will be largely delivered virtually. We're of course optimistic that some of the program will be able to run face to face, and we'll be able to have some events in Barnsley as well. Now, running virtual programs, there are some difficulties. Things like collaboration is obviously harder to do over Zoom calls than perhaps if everyone was in the same room together in front of a blackboard. And also the camaraderie between the founders themselves and that peer support is harder to achieve, as they aren't seeing each other every day, going out for lunch or going for a glass of wine after a session in the evening. But we've also found there are a huge number of advantages to the virtual programs. The founders don't have to necessarily commit to being in a different country for a number of months, which opens up an even broader pool of top quality startups. The quality of the speakers and mentors that we have in our workshops and webinars, that can be enhanced. And also the fact that we're going to be selecting later stage companies, we can be more focused on the business side, means that because they're later stage, they're more market ready and they're more able to make a real impact more quickly. A little bit about how the accelerator is looking. We've this year we've added an earlier phase, so a design studio phase. So this is actually getting to the 20 to 30 startups that have applied, come through to about a 3-day workshop where we really look at their companies, their technologies, and look under the hood essentially at their technologies and meet the founders, get to know them a little bit more, so we know they're a good fit for the program. At the end of that 3 days, they actually will pitch to essentially earn a place on the program, on the core program. The core program is 2 months of fairly intense support and work. So things like consisting of weekly webinar workshops, and that's based on a key topic delivered by an expert in the field. Each startup will be matched with a mentor for an hour or two a week of specialist support and advice. The startups will have access to business coaches for weekly one-to-ones or small group sessions to work specifically on defined priority areas. Things like maybe business strategy, pitch training, deck building, product market fit, looking at competitors, that kind of thing. And there'll also be 2 virtual, but hopefully physical networking sessions. In the final week, there's a demo day, giving the founders an opportunity to pitch to building owners, potentially, to corporates and to investors. One of our previous partners was Rolls-Royce, who partnered with us on the Industrial Tech Program Accelerator last year in Barnsley. We connected them with, Smartia were one of the startups on that accelerator. They're now working together, and Smartia is saving them £1 million per quarter as a direct result of that project, which is fantastic. And yeah, so finally, I'd be delighted to speak with any of you who'd like to hear more about the accelerator program we're running with Barnsley, or if potentially interested in any ways to collaborate, or if in fact you'd like to join the accelerator yourself, or an introduction to any startups that you think would be a good fit. So I'll leave it there. Thank you all very much for listening, and I look forward to chatting with you later in the session.